Welcome. This video is sponsored by Badminton Point, who has brought me these cool Yonex shoes for me to review. So this is the Yonex Eclipsion. If you want to check out even more badminton products, Badminton Point has a lot of different and beautiful and great performance Yonex equipment and other badminton brands. If you use my code, you'll get a discount. Let's get to it. This shoe is from Yonex and is generally known for being a combination of a very modern design and a very high quality shoe with the functionality of a top tier badminton shoe. What you quickly recognize about the shoe is actually having this sock design. So that means it feels like a sock when you putting it on your feet. So here's some rough footage of me putting it on and doing some basic footwork around on the court. So I would like to point out the pros of this shoe. First of all, the shoe does have an excellent grip, which of course is important when you are moving around. As you can see, it has this rubber, and that's black, which I love for badminton brand to begin to be more innovative instead of doing this rubber look that I don't really get anymore, because you have options to make all types of different colors. I really like the design of being black, but when you can do black, I hope you can do different colors as well, because I just want to say that's a nice thing. Okay, one more thing, it feels very tight around my foot, but not too tight. It still feels comfortable. When having the shoe on my foot, I can definitely feel a very solid grip to the ground. That's also because this rubber is actually going towards to the side of the shoe, so each time you're kind of dragging your feet when you're in the defense, you'll actually still have a very solid touch to the ground, even though you're not using the bottom of the shoe. I don't feel slippery with this shoes on, and I definitely feel a lot of support when having this shoe on my foot. In general, I feel a lot of stability. It's very difficult to kind of twist, so that means it keeps my foot very intact, straight and aligned, so my ankle and knee or something like that won't get hurt. So that's also a very good thing. One more thing, I would like to talk about the capacity of this shoe. I feel like my toes have plenty of space in it, even though it has a more tight fit. Still feel like my toes is able to push me around on the court. The shoe gives me excellent abilities to push myself around on the court. That is one of the most crucial aspects a badminton shoe can have. Now when we are talking about the capacity and the inside of the shoe, it actually feels like my feet is kind of resting on some kind of pillow. They are so comfortable to wear. In my opinion, that's great. Have some limits, but I will get back to that. So design-wise, this is a very good looking shoe. I mean, just try to take a look at it. It has this black and gray and then this gold color, and that is an absolute stunning design in my opinion. And here you can really see the innovative parts of what today's technology is able to do, also with creating this kind of sock feeling. And that's a very beautiful shoe, and I'm very impressed that you're able to make such a beautiful shoe with such a modern look that is also a very high performance shoe, so that means you can actually use it in rough trainings and matches and all of that. Very great job, Yonex. You did something truly amazing here. I personally love the sock feeling of a shoe, because that's basically what I normally wear. The shoe also feels very, very light, and that's also a great thing for moving around very fast. It is breathable, so that means you're able to get the heat out of the shoe, so you not get blisters and all of that, and it feels very safe to use. And then I want to talk about the shock absorption, which is very, very cool about this shoe. The shoe feels so good, especially to walk around in. All of this gray material you can see around here is actually very comfortable, which makes the shoe squeeze each time you are in contact with the floor. It really creates a good job in absorbing the shocks, and also makes it very comfortable to wear. For without a good shock absorption, the shock is going to be absorbed in your ankle, in your knee, in your hip or in your spine, which might lead to injuries in the long run. So with this shoe on, I didn't really feel sore or hurt in my joints or in my body, even after long training session or tough matches or anything. It did a really good job. And the next time you pick a shoe, remember to look for good shock absorption, because that is so important when you're playing badminton, because you're in contact with the floor all of the time. But what about the cons of this shoe? Of course it is a world-class shoe. I must say that it's a top-tier shoe. Of course they have thought about every single little detail. However, I have to point something out. There is something about the material and the design of the shoe that actually makes you feel a bit unstable when moving around. I feel a bit elevated when playing, and I think it's because this is actually very tall part, so I feel like I'm actually taller when using it, which gives me a feeling of instability when using this shoe. And that just gets in my head. I might not even be that taller when playing, but it gets in my head, so feel a bit unstable when playing with this on. It might also be that the shoe is too comfortable to wear, so it's kind of wobbly. It's difficult for me to put words on, but there is something about this shoe that makes me feel a bit more unstable when using this shoe, for example. I don't get the support I feel I need when using this on. It has this very tight grip towards my foot, so I wanted to take my foot out of the shoe. And when I did that, after 2 to 3 hours, that felt very good. So my conclusion, it is a top-tier badminton shoe. Of course, I have to recommend this one if you have the money to buy it. Feels very comfortable, and combined with a great look, great grip and shock absorption, you are ready to go. And it also comes with this very unique sock design and the black and gray and gold color. I love it. Of course, this is a high performance shoe as well, but I don't quite get the performance feeling when using the shoes on. And that's something about that I feel I'm elevated in it, or all of the comfortable materials around this shoe makes my shoe kind of wobbly when walking around. But it's still a very high performance shoe. I just think my feet is a bit weird. So as I said in the beginning of the video, this video was sponsored by Badminton Point, who brought me this shoe and asked if I wanted to review it. If you're interested in even more shoes or badminton materials, take a look at badmintonpoint.com. And if you're going to check out, if you find something you want to buy, you can use my code and you'll get a discount. Otherwise, thanks for watching this review of this shoe.